Rheneas and the Dinosaur. Rheneas and Skarloey are the best of friends. They love working together. And they enjoy shunting trucks. They biff them and they bash them all day long. That summer, some men from the Sodor Museum had found some very old bones. When they put the bones together, they made the skeleton of a dinosaur. That morning, a photographer arrived on the island to photograph the dinosaur. Thomas was to take him to the transfer yards. At the transfer yards, Mr. Percival was talking to his engines.
"The dinosaur will soon be ready to go to the Sodor Museum," Mr. Percival said. "I will need 2 very careful engines to collect it."
Rheneas and Skarloey were very excited. "We can be really careful," puffed Rheneas. "Watch." Rheneas shunted some trucks gently together. But Skarloey was too excited to be careful. The thin controller was cross. "Rheneas and Skarloey, you are not careful engines," Mr. Percival said. "I will have to choose 2 other engines to collect the dinosaur." "But I can be careful," said Rheneas. "Let me try again, please." "Very well," Mr. Percival said, "but this is your last chance." "Thank you, sir," said Rheneas happily. Skarloey was sad. "I'm sorry I biffed the trucks," he whistled quietly, "but I'm sure we could take the dinosaur together." "No," said Rheneas. "I'll show Mr. Percival I can do it on my own." And he steamed away. Later, Rheneas had to take some coal to the station houses. The trucks were very heavy for him on his own. His pistons pounded and his axles ached. But Rheneas kept going. "Must take the dinosaur, must take the dinosaur," he puffed. Later at the transfer yards, Mr. Percival came to see Rheneas. "Rheneas, you have worked very hard today," said Mr. Percival kindly, "and pulled very heavy trucks. Very carefully on your own." This made Rheneas very proud. "So I have decided you can collect the dinosaur," Mr. Percival added. "But are you sure you can do it on your own?" "Yes, sir, I'm sure," whistled Rheneas. He was very happy. "And Skarloey," called Mr. Percival, "you will collect empty trucks from the timber yards." "Yes, sir," peeped Skarloey sadly. He watched Rheneas race quickly away to collect the dinosaur. Rheneas chuffed cheerfully through the mountains. But when Rheneas arrived to collect the dinosaur, he was surprised. The dinosaur was very, very big. But Rheneas was sure he was strong enough to pull it. He coupled up to the flatbed and pulled with all his puff. He started to puff his way back to the yards. Rheneas blew his whistle as he puffed through Middle Station. Everyone thought the dinosaur skeleton was wonderful, and they all gave Rheneas a big cheer. Rheneas was very proud. Rheneas was puffing slowly up a hill, but the flatbed was too heavy. His puff was going, and his pistons could hardly pump. Rheneas puffed slower and slower. Then he rolled back down the hill. He could go no further. "Oh, no," he moaned.
I'll never get the dinosaur to the transfer yards now.
Rheneas felt terrible. Then he remembered his friend.
I wish Skarloey was here to help me, he sighed.
Skarloey was still on his way to collect trucks from the timber yards. As he came round a bend in the line, he was very surprised to see a dinosaur blocking the track.
Out of my way, Skarloey tooted loudly.
Rheneas heard Skarloey.
Skarloey, he cried, I need your help. The dinosaur is too heavy for me. I can't pull it on my own.
Skarloey was still upset with Rheneas. He didn't want to help.
I was silly to think I could pull this on my own, puffed Rheneas sadly. It needs 2 engines, and I need you. From now on, I'll always want us to work together.
That made Skarloey feel much better, and he buffered up to the flatbed to help his friend. Together, they pushed the dinosaur safely up the hill and all the way back to the yards. Rheneas and Skarloey puffed happily into the transfer yards, just as Thomas arrived with the photographer. Rheneas and Skarloey had their picture taken with the dinosaur. They were delighted. They were both pleased to be friends again, and they both agreed that working with your friend is the best job of all.